It's The Local Show on News Radio 570 WSYR, a service of Geddes Federal Savings and Loan and Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2023 fall edition of The Local Show. I'm your host, Tom Soccocio Jr., along with my friend and co-host, Steve Roberts. The Local Show features conversations about local businesses. We talk with the business owners, CEOs, CFOs, entrepreneurs, nonprofits, business advocates, and other business-friendly organizations. We learn how they got into business, why they do business right here in Syracuse, New York, and where their businesses might be going in the future. You're going to hear all about their successes, challenges, opportunities, marketing, and advertising. We are broadcasting from the Zoey Advertising Studios, sponsored by Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. Happy weekend to Steve Roberts, falling right into fall.
Yeah, you did that all in one breath. That was pretty amazing. That was pretty good.
I got an issue with the headphones. One of the things they tell you in broadcasting, never talk about the equipment.
Really?
Yeah. That's like one of the golden rules. If you talk about the equipment, I'm like, what? People are going to explode? I mean, what does that mean if you're going to talk about the equipment?
Are they trying to say don't go all engineering because the listeners don't care about your fobs?
Right.
And your, is that what they're trying to say?
Like, I got to deal with these headphones, so like one side keeps cutting out when I move my head, so it's sounding all weird.
Well, but when you were in the men's room, I actually rigged it.
Yeah, so that it would do that.
I put some tape around half of it so it would be like really loose.
Yeah, it's like distracting and all that. So anyway, how you doing?
I'm all right.
Yeah,
the boat is heading to a happier place or a winter place, and did catch fish last week, and I ate it up, and it was yummy.
That's good.
Well, so it's all right. It's all right. I'm not a winner.
We hope to make you all right through the whole show.
You know what? And, that'll be the goal. That'll be goal.
Okay, so stick around because we're going to be talking with Jim Longo. He's the manager of the ski company. Maybe we can get you on those skis this year.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Michelle Hawthorne stops by. She's a licensed Medicare broker, Thorne Insurance Agency. And Matt Roberts, co-founder and president of Sherrill Manufacturing, comes by, along with Neil Carr, vice president of Prime Heating and Air. Kim Vassinelli is the sales director of Park Rose Estates. We'll have a good conversation with her. Sheila Ostrom will tell us all about her event coming up. She's the owner of Senior Home Care and Alzheimer's Solutions. Anthony Napa is the owner of Saving Face Barbershop. And then Josh Ling will round us out. He's the pastor at Redeemer Church in Syracuse. All on the Local Show today. And now we say a hearty, healthy good morning to Jim Longo. How are you, Jim?
I'm doing great, fellas. Thanks for having me.
You get a little closer to that mic.
Yeah, come on, right up there.
A lot closer to that mic.
Yeah.
So is it the real question? Is it going to snow this year?
Yeah.
What I'm hearing is we're supposed to get a normal Central New York snowfall this year, which we haven't had in a little while.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Just like when we were younger, right?
Yeah.
That good stuff. Jim, are you from Syracuse originally?
I am. Yeah, been here my whole life.
Where'd you go to school?
Oh gosh, way back. I went to Lafayette High School quite a while ago. Yeah.
Wow.
Do you ski?
This is my 63rd year.
No kidding.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's great. Of course, you can't live up in that area. I'm from the, where Green Hills Farms is.
Yeah.
I lived down there.
Okay, Nedrow.
So,
sure.
yeah. So we were, we'd always go up to Lafayette. I had friends in Tully and Lafayette, and then all the mountains around here. I was telling my son, I have a DJ company, so we were out playing wedding receptions last week. We were up to Greek Peak and saw the new remodel and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I can't believe how many mountains we have around here. This is like ski central. Yeah, didn't you have a bunch of friends that were skiers when you were in high school, Steve?
No.
Oh, good. Well, you didn't have a bunch of friends.
No, I really didn't. Skiing was for rich kids. Yes. I was not one of them. So there.
Yeah. So how many mountains do we have, really?
Well, basically 3 in the close area, or 4. There's a little one over on the east side of the city.
Right.
Four Seasons. That's a great place for people to learn to ski and all.
Westgate Reservoir doesn't count, does it?
No, that's
No.
Okay,
We took that one off the list.
So, what did you go to college for anything in particular, or did you not go to college?
Yeah, I went to OCC for business and things, and I started working in the ski business when I was a teenager over at Do It Sports over at Corners.
Definitely remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just got a passion for it. Fell in love with doing it all, and been doing it ever since.
So you're the manager at the ski company. Is that a local company?
We're based out of Rochester. We have 4 stores in the company at this point. There's one in Buffalo. Rochester's our main store.
Yeah.
Then we have another store down between Bristol Mountain and Rochester, Bloomfield. So, and then obviously Syracuse.
That was the mountain I was thinking of. So you got Bristol down there. Yeah, there's a couple down there. And then when I used to work radio up in Utica, there's a couple of mountains up there that we used to do remote.
Woods Valley and all that.
Yeah. That was right. And then of course all the ones in between.
So you guys are parked in that old Pier 1 building that right across from our friends at Mattress Makers and Fleet Feet, right in there. Yeah. That seems like a great location.
We are so excited. I mean, we spent all summer getting a new location, prepped up for us and things, and the owners spent. They didn't spare anything to make it right, and it's beautiful.
So what will people find when they go there? I'm imagining it's a ski store, stuff to ski with, but what's there?
Well, we offer full service, alpine equipment, cross country equipment. We have snowshoeing things, snowboarding equipment.
What's alpine equipment? Because Steve and I aren't skiers, so we don't know.
Alpine is what we know as traditional skiing.
Okay, gotcha.
Versus like cross country is for, when you're kind of going through fields.
Yeah. Trying to be healthy, yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of competition?
At this point, we've pretty much taken over the area.
Wow.
Again, the owners have been in business for over 40 years, and have developed it to this point, and we're pretty much the main show.
Is there still a big enthusiasm for skiing?
Oh God, yeah.
So it hasn't waned, not even with the COVID and all that.
No, not at all. It's still going really strong, and we just opened up the new store last Thursday, and we've already been rocking and rolling.
Oh, is there? So, what do you take off like June, July, and August? Do you guys just kind of? What do you do?
Yeah, we're seasonal, so we operate, pretty much September through March, and then the stores all kind of wind down, and the main crew over in the Rochester area and our warehouse, they continue going for a little bit and things, but the stores will pretty much close down through the summer.
Oh, really? So they're actually closed.
Yeah.
It's not evergreen enough.
What kind of ice fishing gear do you have there?
Not a lot.
Okay.
Wish I could help you there.
Are snowshoes part of your thing?
Yeah. We handle all that. That's gotten a little bit more busy in the last 4 or 5 years. We've done some more business with that lately.
Tom says my feet look like snowshoes. He says because I have a large foot. So and the whole point of snowshoes are so you don't sink in the snow, right?
Correct. Yeah, or slip. They have a grip on the bottom of them and things that prevent you from.
Well, a lot of the guys who go ice fishing will wear the snowshoes.
Sure.
Yeah, so that they get some grip.
Yeah.
So you're open. When are you open?
So we're open every day, Monday through Friday. We're open 11 to 7:30. Saturdays 10 to 5, Sundays noon to 5.
Okay, so you get off at Bridge, shoot right down there like I'm going to Erie Boulevard or Home Depot or whatever.
Right.
And again, Henry Wilson Jewelers and Mattress Makers across the street.
Right.
And you're right there next to Fleet Feet?
Fleet Feet, correct.
Oh, my, okay.
Yeah.
I love that building.
You get your boots, you can get your bindings, you can get all top name brand skis and everything.
Yeah. We pretty much carry all there is. And, we have a really popular trade-in program. People purchase things, want something different within 2 years, they can come back and trade it in and get half of what they paid for that original purchase.
Excellent. Well, that's a good deal.
All right.
That's real popular.
Yeah.
Sounds good. We'll send people over your way. Jim Longo right there, manager of the Ski Company, skicompany.com, skicompany.com. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Yeah, I really appreciate you having me on. Thank you so much.
Let's have you on again, and you can give us a report, an update.
Great.
Okay, coming up next, we're going to talk with Michelle Hawthorne. She's a licensed Medicare broker from the Thorne Insurance Agency, right here on the local show on 570 WSYR.
Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Gettys Federal Savings and Loan and Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Back into it and back at it again. You've got The Local Show right here on your weekend with Tom and Steve. Steve, Gettys Federal Savings and Loan has been a proponent of the show for a while. They even let you on, so that's very nice of them.
Here's what I know. If the market,
What do you know about
if the
that?
market makes you nervous, get it at Gettys. Put it in a CD over there at Gettys, across from the big snow hill you can't slide down.
Mm-hmm.
If you need a mortgage, a lot of people still do. Buy it local, get it at Gettys, GettysFederalSavingsLoan.com. Tom.
That's great. What is that reservoir called?
Westgate.
Well, that's Westgate.
Westgate, and they put the snow fence up, and no more fun here, you
Westgate.
kids. No more sliding. The government's in charge. Don't get me going. We're making it safer. Feel the joy.
Oh, goodness gracious. So let's talk with Michelle Hawthorne. I guess she was here before. I don't remember her. Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't.
I'm so memorable, apparently.
Tom doesn't
I'm
remember
just
anything.
teasing you. I'm sure you were here.
Yes.
Michelle is a licensed.
Her name was Mike back then. Sorry.
This is off to a great start.
She's a licensed Medicare broker, Thorne Insurance Agency, and that's the name of your company. I would imagine it's for your last name, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
that's what I
thank
thought.
you.
No, it's just a
Good to have you
coincidence,
back.
Tom. what a dumb struggle. Same name.
Oh, you guys are funny.
Michelle,
I am now awake.
are you a native of Syracuse? Did you grow up here?
No, I actually grew up in Rochester.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What part of Rochester were you from?
I'm from Webster,
Yeah, very nice place. I like Webster a lot.
but I went to college out here. So
Okay.
I graduated from Oswego. I started at CAS, transferred to Oswego, so I've been in Syracuse
Gotcha.
for
Well,
many moons.
Why did you get into the insurance world?
That's an interesting story. It'll take too long, but I will say what kind of happened is I saw that it was helping people.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I had left the company I'd been at for many years and really was looking for something that was one-on-one where I could help people. And quite frankly, years ago, I had a lot of health issues. My family, pretty much everybody in my family, my immediate family, we had all gone through it. So there was a lot
Wow.
of navigating of that to do. So I kind of felt drawn to this. So when I talk
Mm-hmm.
with my clients, I say, I'm going to help you.
So
Help you
let
navigate
me
all that.
ask a little question. You can get a little closer to that, Mike. Let me ask you a
sorry.
question. Medicare for seniors is a nightmare. Change my mind.
I wish I could. It really is a tough animal to navigate. So my goal when I'm working with clients or potential clients is not only to help them navigate their enrollment, but navigate the insurance as they're using it, and Medicare as well.
So when someone turns 65, like it or not, knock, knock, Medicare is here, correct?
Correct.
So if I'm a resident of the planet in North America in these United States, I'm confronted with some decisions to make. And I know everybody gets Medicaid because it falls on you because it is, but you have to apply. But then there's terms and conditions apply, and there's different things. So
Yes.
how do you help people unpack all that?
So I actually do Medicare 101s, and I have a couple coming up. I do have a Medicare 101 at the end of this month, if you want me to plug that.
Sure.
It's going to be at the Maxwell Library in Camillus on October 26th. I believe that's a Thursday evening at 6 p.m.
So what happens there?
So what happens there is it's about an hour and a half presentation, and I do a full Medicare education where I'm talking about the A, B's, C, D's of Medicare. And then I come at it, when I do a Medicare 101, I'm coming at it from an insurance perspective. So I'm talking about how it's going to work with your insurance versus just Medicare, the basics of Medicare. So that kind of helps people start thinking about what kind of insurance, because everybody has different options. Some people are going to stay working after 65 and stay on their employer insurance, but they still have considerations to make. So that helps them know what questions they have to ask their employer.
So how do you do that? Because there's option one, option B. There's a supplement. There's a not supplement. There's a supplement with cheese. I mean, how do you unpack that with people? How do you do it? Because it just seems like if I'm entering that space, or maybe I'm in that space, maybe I'm 68, I already have it, but whoever I signed up with is in another planet and I can't have a conversation with someone. Can you help someone like that too?
Yes, it's a very individual basis. Every single person is different. And I work with couples often. And quite frankly, in Medicare, two people could be on two different plans even though they're a couple. So each person in that couple could be a different situation. So it's very individualized.
So what are some mistakes people make when they're in that space?
Not signing up for Medicare on time.
Okay.
Not understanding late enrollment penalties, because there are late enrollment penalties.
Backing up, what's on time?
So it depends on your situation again, but typically, I'm just going to do the typical person. If you are turning 65 and you're going to be going on Medicare, you have 3 months before your birthday month, and 3 months after to sign up for Medicare. But you also have to take into consideration what's going to be your insurance during that time. Because if you don't sign up for Medicare and you need insurance, you're not going to get it. If you have employer insurance, it's a different story. So again, it's just such an individualized basis, but it's not starting ahead of the game. If you're looking to retire, I always tell people you should really start thinking about your health insurance about a year before you retire, because it could change your retirement date.
It seems like,
really
Tom,
could.
everyone's trying to get all the yellows on one side of the Rubik's Cube. That's hard.
There is no. It's so individualized and so different, every situation, and I'm still learning. It's nice that I have a group of other agents that I work with, so that if we are dealing with a difficult situation, we call each other or we meet and we kind of go through it. We have to be HIPAA compliant, so we can't discuss certain things, but at the same time, we're like, how do you navigate this? What do we do? Who do we call?
So you have to have Medicare? Like there's no other choice?
It depends. Again, it depends.
Yeah. So okay.
I am so giving you guys concrete answers today.
She just said it covers depends. That's good.
Yes. Actually, that's a possibility. Not Medicare original, but yes.
So if you're working at a company and you're 65, first of all, you can't get it until you're 65, right? There's no before.
There is exceptions.
Okay.
So,
people with disabilities and things?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you've had Social Security disability for 24 months, your 25th month, you're going to go right into Medicare.
Okay.
So does this go ahead, Tom?
Under normal circumstances, if you didn't have any extenuating circumstances and you're a normal, healthy adult, maybe some blood
Are there any of those
medicine.
left?
Yeah, whatever. You just got some older things that are happening to you when you get older. You get it at 65.
Correct.
Right. Okay. So there's nothing you can do beforehand, but you have to do it afterhand. And if you are still working, would you can you not get your insurance from your employer and opt for Medicare?
It depends. Okay, I apologize. I keep saying it depends. It depends on your situation. So it depends on how many employees are in where you work.
Okay.
And actually if you go to Medicare.gov, and you are going to be working after 65, so you can go to Medicare.gov and type in working past 65. Mm-hmm. It will pop you up, and there is a very long page with different scenarios.
But you will help people sort this out.
I do.
I mean, that's really...
I really do.
Okay, so if they call 415-7074...
Yes.
If they have questions, so if you have a pencil, a crayon, or a pad, or whatever you write things down on, 415-7074. They can ask you questions. If they're on it already and they want to change it, if they need to update it, if they're just coming in, the 415-7074, ask for Michelle, because Michelle will answer the phone, right?
Michelle will answer the phone.
Because you've said terms and conditions apply a lot of times.
Yes.
So rather than going on to for me, I want to talk to a person.
Yes. It's really nice to have a person. That's
Okay.
what I talk about a lot in my Medicare 101s, because there's a lot to navigate.
Well, navigate with Michelle Hawthorne at 415-7074, Tom.
There you go. Thank you very much, Michelle. Have a great rest of the day.
Thank you both for having me here.
All right. Matt Roberts is coming up next. He's the co-founder and president of Sherrill Manufacturing, right here on the local show on 570 WSYR.
Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Gettys Federal Savings and Loan and Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome back, and welcome to Autumn with Tom and Steve right here on The Local Show. Thank you for hanging out with us. We really appreciate that. And you can see us on our YouTube channel as well at Zoey Advertising 3809, or just search up Zoey Advertising, and then you can like and follow the page and see all the different videos that we have.
Right.
Which is kind of nice. Yeah. It's good to bring back a guest that we've had on before, a local entrepreneur, not too far away from the central part of Syracuse, just up the road a little bit on Route 5. It's Matt Roberts, co-founder and president of Sherrill Manufacturing. How are you?
I'm great. Good morning. Good to see you guys.
Yeah, it's good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. So tell us a little bit of the history of this Sherrill Manufacturing, and how long have you been involved with it?
Certainly. We're in we're 18 and a half years in, so next March will be 19 years.
You're like a little kid. You count half years. How old are you? I'm 4.5.
Hey, we graduated from high school. We're going to college.
Okay.
So we bought the factory in 2005 in the spring, March of 2005, and over the years it's morphed into an internet company, and our brand's Liberty Tabletop. We sell on almost everything online through our website or Amazon. We have a couple other smaller websites, but we're a .com.
Yeah, really.
So is there a place someone can walk in and kick the tires, or that's not the model at all?
We have opened a showroom recently in our offices at 102 East Seneca Street, Suite 510. It's difficult to get to. We can't get Google to change the name of the road to Liberty Drive, but we're there.
We know somebody that can help with that. That would be awesome if you need it.
You need the Google help?
Yeah.
So we get people that come in, and they Briggs and Stratton that makes Ferris lawnmowers is on the same industrial complex.
Right.
Yeah.
And they said, I was over by the lawnmower place. Hard to find you guys.
Oh, that's frustrating, is it?
Right. But we get a lot. We're getting a lot more foot traffic and sales out of there, and it's people want to touch and feel the product.
They do, yeah. I was going to ask you if you thought that people still want that. I know that I do. And even my son. Now, my son's 16 years old, and he's into photography and video and all that. So he was asking me, Dad, is there any place we can go where I can look for equipment because I want to touch it and I want to feel it? So even him at 16, I think people are longing for that.
That short 4.5-hour drive to New York City at B&H Photo, that's where I go, because I like to touch it and feel it.
Right.
That's me. But 99% of your sales, people are seeing you online and embracing what you have?
Yeah, the only thing that we do to help with that touchy-feely thing is we have a samples program. So you can go on our website for a nominal fee. I think it's under $10. You can buy 2 or 3 samples, and you could get a fork or a spoon or a knife, and then you can see and feel it. In about half of those orders for samples turn into real orders.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a moneymaker for you if they buy for $10. I mean, but it's saying, hey, I'm interested enough to want to touch it and feel it.
When you first got into it, did you have a retail outlet?
No, we did not.
Oh, still?
No, we didn't. We manufactured for Oneida for a few years. Of course, Oneida had the factory store there that and people, still think we're Oneida. I mean, it's because flatware is such an infrequent purchase. People come in and say, "Oh yeah, this is Oneida." I said, "No, Oneida's not here anymore. It's just us."
A little confusing. You're in Sherrill. You're in Oneida. You sell flatware. You're in the Oneida factory. I can't understand why people would be confused at all.
It's very difficult to change that thought process. Like I said, people buy. People might have bought Oneida 25 years ago, and they want.
Yeah.
They say, "Can you make this design for us?" No, we can't. We have our own design.
What are the options for American-made flatware?
From a factory standpoint, the only option is us. We do have 2, what I would call OEMs, private label. One of them is Cutco, And Cutco's in Olean, New York, and they have a huge cutlery factory.
And a great reputation.
Great products, fabulous products, and a great brand recognition. So we make their forks and spoons with their name on the back. And we have another company called Heath Ceramics out of San Francisco. But we only make a luxury brand, so we can't, you're not going to find us in any stores.
Okay. Wow. So with the store, if someone wanted to kick the tires, when can they, and they can find you, you're right in Sherrill, New York, that's where it is, right?
Right.
How would they, when is that open?
So you could go to our website at libertytabletop.com and you can get the hours. It's normally like 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. But usually it's better if you call ahead, even make an appointment. But if you walk in the door and say you want, we're not going to turn anybody away.
Right. Now, you say it's an infrequent purchase, but people are always getting married, so there's constant cycle of people getting married. Is it a wedding item?
Absolutely. Bridal is very big for us. Simply because of the quality. It's a one-time purchase. You could buy our products and never buy another set. So what a lot of people do is they'll buy something to replace because their kids went off to college or something, and half the stuff's gone. They lost it, so they'll buy our product and then they'll get it and it looks really good. So they'll go to a wedding. They'll make sure they buy ours, and so we get a lot of sales. People buying again and again for gifts for their family or for weddings. We've had a couple customers that literally have bought 10 or 15 sets for their extended family.
No kidding. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
How important is the American-made brand to people these days, or is that less a big deal?
I think it's more important post-COVID because of the supply chain issues, and people realize that why are we dependent on countries that are 12,000 miles away? If I can buy something and help the United States, we see Micron moving in, right?
Sure.
So there's a lot of reshoring, is the term, reshoring of manufacturing. So people look for USA a lot more than they used to.
How has the government helped you with the company, or haven't they?
We have a contract with the government. That's our third leg of the stool, so to speak.
Okay.
And this year we'll probably do $3 million with them. They're a really good customer, and they pay. In 10 days, they pay us.
Wait. Just to be clear, we're talking about the same government.
Yes. Now remember, we're selling forks and spoons. It's a small percentage of a cruise missile. Okay, so
right. But so they want a quality made American product.
Yes, and they have a what's called a mass contract where they. Made in USA gets an advantage, and it has to be a Trade Act compliant country. So the only Trade Act compliant countries: Mexico, Canada, United States, Korea, Japan, and then part of Europe. So we're really the only competitive product that you can buy if you're buying it for the government.
That's wonderful.
Oh, that is interesting. I saw a big. I was at the airport. I saw a big banner with your team on it. Tell us about that. It was getting some by the luggage. What's that?
Well, we just tried that as it's more of a PR thing. I don't know what we're getting for business, although it shows my big belly out there. It showed me I saw that I have to lose some weight when I see my picture. But we get a lot of my friends will take a picture with that when they're going through the gate and say, look who's up there again on the wall. So
right. So if people want, if American made, imagine folks that served our country have a higher engagement level, and families like that. Is that a fair statement or no? Yeah,
there's a lot of patriotic people that there's no question that people that served in the military now, can find Made in USA. We went to a Made in USA conference a few years ago, and our booth was right next to the Black Rifle Coffee guys.
Oh, yeah,
and they just started out.
Yeah.
Now they're in Walmart. They're everywhere. So people really are clamoring for that.
That's excellent.
So it is libertytabletop.com. So I understand the confusion with Oneida because it's in Oneida, but they can go there. If they want to see you, they get online. They can get samples sent to them. I think it's awesome.
Great local business right there. Matt Roberts, a co-founder and president of Sherrill Manufacturing. Thank you so much, and you have a great rest of the day, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
Okay. Neil Carr is coming up next, Vice President of Prime Heating and Air, right here on the local show. Stick around on 570 WSYR.
Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Gettys Federal Savings and Loan and Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Here we go, jumping back into The Local Show with Tom and Steve. Two guys who had nothing better to do but talk on the radio, and we did it. So here we are.
Is that what we do?
With you. Yeah,
Is that what we do? You know,
Yeah.
we got. Tom, I got a nice email from a listener last weekend. They said,
Oh, yeah?
"Hey,
What'd they say?
they were complimentary."
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
To you?
to the show, not to me personally.
It's to you. It's your show.
No, they don't. I'm just a guy. You're Johnny, and I'm Ed. You know.
Yeah, I guess.
Actually, you know what they said, Tom? In the email was clever.
What'd they say?
They said maybe we should change the name to the Loco Show. Like Loco.
Yes.
And I thought that was amusing.
Yes, very creative.
So thank you. If anybody wants to reach out, not just to say we don't suck, but Steve and Zoey Advertising. To your point, Tom, that you mentioned
show?
is, hey, we can help you with all kinds of stuff. And
that, yes.
And it's the Local Show with Tom and Steve. So, hey, look, Tom, there's somebody here.
Neil Carr is here with us, Vice President of Prime Heating and Air. How are you there, Neil?
Doing well, fellas. Eeyore, how are you today?
Oh, we're hanging right in there. So, primeheatandair.com if you want to keep up with things, ladies and gentlemen. Primeheatandair.com. Lots changing throughout the weather, of course, and technologies and stuff like that. What's the big thing that you guys are doing the most of at this time of year?
Yeah, the 85 days are over for the year, I think.
Yeah.
We had that last week.
We're all done.
Thanks for the encouragement.
I think those are over for a little
breath
while.
of fresh air.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different things. Heat pumps obviously are the big thing on everybody's radar with everything.
The name's misleading. Heat pump.
Yeah.
Explain how it
It's like
works.
jumbo shrimp. Right. Try to explain that to somebody that wasn't born here.
Right.
Yeah.
What's that contraption made out of? How does it work?
Yeah, it produces heat and also does air conditioning. So basically, it just reverses the flow of refrigerant. So. In one mode, it's bringing the heat into it, and in the other mode, it's pulling the heat out and replacing it.
And is it one of those units that has to be like you see it? Like, your mechanicals currently, if you have a forced air, it's down in the basement over in the corner.
Right.
But this is something that's seen in a room? Or?
No, it's the same thing.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, it depends. Depends on what kind of system you have. So there's ductless mini splits, which are, the indoor unit, will hang on the wall, and you'll see that in the different spaces. You see them, if you're out to eat or wherever, you'll see them, or people have them in their homes.
Mm-hmm.
A whole house heat pump you won't see it. It's in one of those in the basement. And then the units outside, like your AC condenser is outside, the heat pump's outside. Mm-hmm. So you won't notice it as much. But they both do the same thing.
Are they more expensive than 90%?
Equipment costs are a little more, not as outrageous as people think. Mm-hmm. So we always, as people are kind of replacing their straight AC systems, we always bring up the option of the whole house heat pump.
Right.
Yeah.
And do you do hot water tanks as well? Is that part of HVAC?
Yeah, we will do, we'll do tank replacements depending on the area where they live, that kind of thing. And then we'll also do tankless, water heaters as well.
Okay. Because invariably you always hear in the dead of winter, somebody's hot water tank goes.
Yeah. And they don't wind down, do they?
No.
They just go.
Yeah.
They're just
They let
like,
go.
Today's the day. Boom.
Yeah.
You're like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And that's the way it works, right?
Yeah. Typically. Yep. They're either working or they're not.
So
there's not a lot of signs.
So really, if you have something that's 20 years old or 18 years old.
Yeah, I mean, the one sign you can look for if, when you're down in the basement the next time, just look around the base of the hot water tank. Mm-hmm. If you start to see rust or paint bubbling, these rust spots around the base, that's typically where they're going to go if they go.
Yeah.
At least when they go and they leak, that's typically where it's going to be around the bottom.
I'm hearing mine pinging and tinging. So you hear it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, what
Those
is
are very
going
nice.
on?
Those are very interesting
Pretty
sound
accurate,
effects.
actually.
Yeah,
So to Tom's sound effect, greatest hits. What is that? What's going on with his?
Yeah.
I think it's just heating and cooling of water expansion.
Okay, so it doesn't mean it's ready to blow
I
up.
don't
Give
think
him
so.
something to worry about. Tell him.
No, it is.
Steve, he has got enough to worry about.
Just tell him that.
Mine is 20 years old.
He's waking up and he's worried. So let's not.
Just
let's not
tell him
add
it's
anything.
just a matter of minutes or days.
Yeah.
When that thing's going to be a rocket ship. It's going to
Yeah.
explode. It's going to go right through the kitchen that he just finished.
He's already
ruin everything.
His mind's already there, so I don't want to add on. I don't want to add on.
I haven't even finished. We don't even have blinds on the windows.
Yeah, but I mean, if your tank is, if it's getting to
Yes.
that age, it's definitely, it's not a
It's
bad
good to
idea
do.
to look at. Yeah.
And you don't maintain a water heater. It is a.
There's not a lot. Yeah. I mean, you can drain them and try to get if there's calcium buildup at the bottom and stuff, try to flush that out as much as you can.
Does anybody do that?
No.
Not usually. Yeah. Not
Just
usually.
get another one for the cost of it and
Right.
everything like that.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So we're changing filters, right? That's
Yeah.
important. Got to
Yeah.
keep changing the filters. How do people get a hold of you, and how responsive are you as a company during these cold months? Because it seems like it's one of those things where people wait a little long, don't they? And then they say, geez, I got a problem.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. In the cold season, that's what it is. Emergency calls. Oh, my heat's not on. We try our very best to get to people same day or within 24 hours.
Yeah.
That's our goal. Depending on the temperature and situation. I mean, we can be there. Same day for sure if people want to pay the overtime rates. Some people be like, I can wait till tomorrow type thing.
Right, especially this. It's not February.
Right. So yeah, it's just be patient. I mean, obviously we want to get to everybody. That's our goal, and we know that when he goes off, it's.
So right now, if they
It's a-
want to,
it's a feeling
if they
people
don't want that
experience.
to happen, and things are maybe making noises unlike Tom's noises, but other noises, or maybe they're making
Yeah.
no noise at all.
Yeah.
You guys can go out and go. Okay, this looks like it's good to go. This isn't good to go.
Yeah, we could
by
do-
the way, change your
yeah.
filter. Those kind.
Yeah, I mean, we do maintenance on heating systems. So that's, if you haven't had that done or it's been a little while, that's definitely having that done helps reduce those emergency calls for sure. We can catch things ahead of time, that kind of thing.
People love you guys online. Did you write all those nice reviews yourself or what?
I pay people. Yeah.
Yes, they love your brother, right?
Yeah.
And stuff. So they could call. Is it the 802-4287?
That's the one. That's the best number. Yep. And then someone's answering that. Or we'll get back to you. That's our, if you call that number day or night, you'll get.
So if you got it,
get to
you
us.
want to get it checked, you want to get it peeked at, you want to just make sure 802-4287.
Yep.
And you are primeheatandair.com, and
Yeah.
they can figure it out. They can have a conversation. And
Yep.
it's nice if it's not in a hurry.
Yeah.
Because it's easier. It costs a little less. It's not, you don't have to go there at 3 a.m. and
Exactly. Yeah. If people are, a little proactive, or if they think, like your case, like, oh, I know my furnace is 20, 25 years old.
Right.
It's running great right now. But if, let's schedule a maintenance, we'll come out, we'll kind of go through it and everything is running well. Let's keep going. Or, these couple of things aren't maybe, the amperage isn't where it's supposed to be.
Sure.
Or a little low. So let's change that out so it doesn't fail in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I'd like to have you guys come over and do that kind of a fall
Yeah.
checkup, if
Yeah,
you will.
that's
right?
basically what it is.
Pre-winter.
Yep.
All
Yeah, you
right.
catch a lot of things ahead of time, then you don't have those emergency visits.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. All right, Neil Carr right there. He's the vice president of Prime Heating and Air, and he works alongside his brothers. PrimeHeatandAir.com, 802-4287. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Good to talk to you again.
Kicking off hour number 2 of the local show, we're going to have a conversation with Kim Vassinelli. She's the sales director at Park Rose Estates. Sheila Ostrom will stop by, owner of Senior Home Care and Alzheimer's Solutions. Anthony Napa, the owner of Saving Face Barbershop. And Josh Lang, pastor at Redeemer Church here in Syracuse. Stick around. Hour number 2 of the local show starts really soon.
It's The Local Show on News Radio 570 WSYR, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome back and welcome in. This is hour number 2 of The Local Show. Get ready for engaging interviews with Kim Vassanelli. She is the sales director at Park Rose Estates. Sheila Ostrom stops by, owner of Senior Home Care and Alzheimer's Solutions. Anthony Napa, owner of Saving Face Barbershop, will stop by. And then we'll round things out with Pastor Josh Lang from the Redeemer Church in Syracuse. All right, Steve, you ready to rock? Here we go.
Yeah, you know.
All right,
so
get your energy up.
I'm kind of lagging here a little, Tom.
Yes, so am I. I'm actually asleep. I'm talking to you from a deep sleep.
We'll lag together. So maybe there's somebody here that has more energy than both of us put together.
At least you don't have to say names like Kim Vassanelli.
No, that's true. That's true. I think it's a good point.
Kim, how are you?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Good to have you on the show.
Yes.
And you are the sales director at Park Rose Estates. Isn't that an old fogey's place?
Yeah, so...
and you're so young.
Thank you. So we are independent senior living in the heart of Liverpool.
Okay.
So we're not assisted living and we're not an apartment complex. We're kind of the in-between, if you will. But a lot of folks who call us often think that we are a nursing home, and
Right.
we're very
Right.
far from a nursing home. All of our seniors are completely independent, and we're just kind of there to make it a little
So
fun.
what do you think the average age is?
Oh my goodness. So our youngest resident is 61.
Stop looking at me.
No. I mean, if you...
That's Steve right
Stop
there.
looking at me. She's looking at me, Tom.
But our oldest is 102.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's
Are they
amazing.
are they
That's a
dating?
big spread.
What?
Are they dating?
No.
Okay.
Both are female. So,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, yeah.
So you just said some things. You're not. So you're like a well-maintained apartment complex for older adults.
Correct. Yes. 55 and older.
Okay, that has. They can help. So what do you do and what don't you do? Because there's assisted living, and I knew you weren't in a nursing home a long time. That was never in my brain.
Right.
But I assume they're. So do you cook or they cook?
So we provide 3 meals a day, restaurant-style dining. So you actually order right from a menu.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it's like a restaurant.
You perked Tom up. You're talking about food. Look at his eyes. It's the first time he smiled in weeks.
You should come join us for a meal sometime.
Yeah. That's
Will you
great.
let us leave?
Yeah.
I'm 59. I fit the demo.
Right?
That's something else. So you don't go down into a communal room. You can order right into your room service, or
You can order right to your room.
Okay.
We do encourage residents to utilize the dining room just because that's where they'll meet some of their, neighbors and
So if they had friends outside of where they live, outside of Park Rose, can you invite them over?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We encourage that as well.
So we scaled down a few years ago. We live in an apartment, which we like because we don't have to do all these things that
maintenance
that Tom
things.
has to do.
I do a lot of stuff.
So
yes.
is that one of the reasons people like that kind of a community?
Yeah, so they get 3 meals a day, housekeeping once a week. We do transportation to medical and grocery. But a huge part of it would be that when they do come to a community like Park Rose, there's no upkeep of a home, snow removal, lawn care, all the things that come with a house.
So it's not like a commune. You don't say, Charlie, it's your turn to shovel and kick Charlie out there or anything like
Not
that.
at all.
Those
Not
things
at
are
all.
included.
Yeah, we will even brush off their car in the winter.
Oh, that's really nice.
You got me.
Yeah.
I'm going
Thank
for that
you.
visit, Tom.
Come on over.
I know that I've bypassed
Oh, you
Park
know
Rose
Tom.
100,000
Tom.
times. Where exactly is it?
Go. Tell
Yeah.
him what he's won.
Sure. It's right off of West Taft Road, right near Wegmans and North Medical Center.
It's like in the parking lot of North. It's like behind it, Tom.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, right. Yeah, it's a beautiful place.
And some folks may recognize there's fish in those ponds, but I'm not going to tell.
There are. People fish there. It's amazing.
Can you believe
He's one
that
of
there
them.
are people that'll fish anywhere?
Literally,
What
yes.
is wrong with these people?
And you're right around the corner from the Brooklyn Pickle.
Oh my, yeah. So
Yeah,
we
that's very
our bus goes there quite often.
Yeah.
That's a hot one for the residents.
Doesn't
that's
even
for
get
sure.
out of first gear. It's right there. So how long have you been part of it?
So I've been with Park Rose 2 years now, but prior to that, I was within the senior living community for 6.5 years. So
No kidding. And you're such a young lady to
Thank
be
you.
in. So you just have an affection for older
Yeah, that's what I
folks?
say. Why? I was going
I
there.
do, yeah. So I don't have any living grandparents left, and
Yeah.
so like working within a community with seniors, you kind of just have
Yeah, they have.
I
Why'd
have
she
like.
point at me? Did you? Okay, YouTube listeners, watchers, we're just going. They're just, and she pointed at me like
No,
I'm
no.
like I caught that.
Are your parents seniors, or are they
Yes.
fairly older?
They're 65 and 62. So, but yeah, so I just kind of
Have you
thought, like,
convinced them to move in yet?
no.
Are you telling me you don't want them to move in because you'll
Exactly.
So are you a Syracuse native? You're
I
from around
am,
here, okay.
yes.
What high school did you go to?
CNS.
Oh, you're seeing it. Yeah, that's where I am. We live up in the pastures.
Oh my gosh, I grew up in Hiller Heights right next door.
Oh, yeah,
Small world.
absolutely.
And
Yeah.
I'm so old. It was called C. It was before it was C and S. And I went there
Yeah.
1,000 years ago.
Right, yeah. But all my kids went through there. I got a 25-year-old, 22, and a 16-year-old.
Oh my gosh,
So,
yeah.
And by the way, when you go by Hiller Heights on Pine Grove on the other side,
Yeah.
don't speed. Just,
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I can imagine.
It's not a place you want to do 47 and a 30. I'm just saying.
No.
And you don't want to take a bike either. I mean, there's been so
Oh
many
my
people got
gosh.
hit by the bikes,
Yeah,
you know? Or hit on a bike. Not hit by
Yes.
bikes.
Yep. Yeah.
That's
Dangerous
terrible.
bridge
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
So you got it. Do you have a degree in geriatrics or anything like that? Or
I don't. My degree is actually in paralegal.
Oh,
So
wow.
not much to do with geriatrics, but I just have such a strong
Yeah.
love for it, senior community.
How many people are working there aside from yourself?
At Park Rose?
Yeah, Park
oh
Rose.
gosh, probably at least 20 to 25.
That's a big
We have-
team.
Yeah.
We do a lot. Maintenance. There's servers, the front desk. I have a sales counselor on my team, executive director, activities director, activities assistant.
You
So,
seem
yeah.
like you're like a cruise director, activity
you.
director. She's got that bubbly kind of people wanting to be part of it.
Now, here's what I know, that people always want to be a part of it, and it seems like we don't have enough senior living places in town. So, how can people get into Park Rose? And I don't want to state the obvious. People pass away, right? You know.
Yeah.
But do you have to wait till somebody passes away, or
No, so we have a waiting list, and we do have some availability right now,
Yeah.
and we are running a very aggressive rent special through the end of October. So I would just encourage anyone who's even considering whether it's 5 years out or tomorrow, just to give us a call, and we can connect and kind of.
So it's maybe someone is in an apartment or they're in a home and it's time to make some changes, and there's loss in that. That's a hard
Yes.
process. And
Yes.
It is, yeah.
It's not simple. But the 452-9500, I think that's the right phone number.
That's the right number.
So would they talk to you, Kim? Or-
Yes, they can ask for Kim, and
and you'll they'll say, well, what's the deal? And you ask questions. You don't even know what to ask, so you ask
Right.
how much
You give a
because you don't know
tour.
what else to ask.
Absolutely.
You're like,
Yeah.
are you mean to people there? You don't ask that.
No.
People don't know what to ask.
Right.
So 452-9500 is a pretty
Yeah.
simple number, or go to Park Rose Estates.
Let me ask you quickly too,
Yeah.
the size of these things. How big are they?
Yeah, so we have studio and one bedroom apartments. They range from 400 to 740 square feet.
Okay. That's
Well,
it.
just- yeah,
So,
that's a
so it's really not for a family. You're not going to bring in 3 people.
Right, yeah. I mean, we
Typically.
do have married couples, so that's doable.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
No, with that, because when you're considering there's other areas, there's open areas, there's dining areas, all those things that you don't have to use space on an apartment.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
know, I mean, our apartment's a little over 1,000 square feet. And
Sure.
it works.
Yeah, my wife and I need at least a couple thousand so that we can get lost and be away from each other.
I was just actually her to get away from you. 452-9500, Kim, parkroseestates.com. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Sheila Ostrom is up next. She's the owner of Senior Home Care and Alzheimer's Solutions. We'll have a nice conversation with her on the local show on 570 WSYR. Stick around.
Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Blowing back into The Local Show. Here we are, Tom and Steve, in all our bright colors, our bright fall colors.
Yeah, I'm wearing blue jeans and a black shirt. I'm really celebrating the season, Tom.
If you look on YouTube, you'll see us all blue.
It was dressed for success. It was my fraying hoodie that embarrasses my wife and a pair of jeans that maybe it's just me that embarrasses my wife.
Yes, well, you embarrass all of us, so thank you.
It's one of my roles.
It's a good job. Hey, we've got a returning guest who has a big event coming up. It's Sheila Ostrom, owner of Senior Home Care and Alzheimer's Solutions, SyracuseSenior.com. How are you, Sheila?
I'm doing great.
Great. You have an event coming up. We're going to talk about that. And you also brought a friend.
I did bring a friend.
Did you?
Who's going to be at the conference.
Oh, excellent. So she can speak to that. Her name is Linda Johnstone, and she's from Silver Fox Adult Day Center. Could you take somebody like Steve in for a day and watch him?
All he needs is he needs to have
A leash?
He needs to have oversight and supervision. So if he needs oversight and supervision, we can definitely take him.
Okay, yes.
Stop looking
Sounds
at
like
all
a
of those
plan.
things.
All of those things.
I think the staff would agree that I qualify.
I would agree.
Nobody
That
asked
is
you,
wonderful.
Sheila.
So let's start off by Sheila telling us about this Living with Dementia workshop she's got scheduled.
Yes, our Living with Dementia 2023 conference is sponsored by Upstate University Hospital and Upstate Nappy Wellness Center. And we are going to be helping anybody who cares for somebody with dementia, whether it's professional or personal, a family friend. And we are going to have that on October 24th at Embassy Suites across from Destiny.
Beautiful place, nice place to have it. And what is going to be your role over there, Linda?
So Silver Fox is a sponsor of the Living with Dementia 2023. We specialize in senior care at our facilities, and we do specialize in dementia care as well. So about 95% of the members that come to our facility are have some form of dementia. So we are going to be speaking on a panel in terms of local resources in the area, and we're just going to be helping out Sheila wherever she needs.
Excellent. Yeah.
By the way, Tom, Silver Fox is next to one of the best diners I've eaten at.
Yes.
And forever.
I was just going to ask where you said facilities as
Yes.
Well,
there's
which
several,
one?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
we're actually next to two diners.
Okay, I'm talking about the one in Manlius between
Yes.
the trout stream, some call it a car wash there, and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. You're right in that plaza.
We're right in that plaza, right in the middle. Yep, next to
Limestone Plaza, I think that's called,
Yes,
right? Yeah.
Limestone Commons Plaza. Yep,
Yeah.
and we're right next to the Daily Diner.
Yes.
And then in Baldwinsville, we're actually right next to Beeville Diner.
There we go. Anybody from the
kidding.
Daily
Yeah.
Diner wants to bring Tom and I food. The Eggs Benny is awesome.
I've never eaten there. I've never gone over there.
There's some place you haven't eaten?
Yeah, I know.
Wow,
I
find
think
that
I
hard
would
to
have
believe.
eaten out Syracuse here.
That's a shocker.
We have a chef on site at both our locations, but I have gotten food from the Daily Diner.
There we go.
Just don't tell my chef.
So you're going to be involved, and you're going to be part of a panel and communicating. So really, I know. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sheila. I know you'll have no problem doing that. that this vision to connect all the folks that are dealing with trying to help, trying to educate, trying to teach, TIPA snow training, all of these things that come together. This is a dream that you had, Sheila. That let's get everybody on the same page at the same time, and let's help people that are. I'm going to say the word ministering because I really think it's appropriate here to people that have memory issues, be it Alzheimer's or dementia of any kind. Is that what this is all about, Jill?
It absolutely is. And, you know, one of the things with Linda's adult center, day center, is all of her people are TIPA snow trained.
Yes.
And they are very good at working with folks during the day. And, you know, they come for the day, they have their chef on site, and then they go back home at the end of the day.
Right. Well, you started Senior Home Care Solutions with a heart to help people to keep people home.
Yes.
And that hasn't changed. So how does dementia and keeping people home, where do these worlds merge?
These worlds definitely merge. People need to still have social interaction, especially people with dementia.
Absolutely. So we provide a respite almost for their caregivers so that they can stay at home without the caregiver getting burnt out. They come to our facility during the day. We have our staff, as she said, is all trained in dementia care through Senior Home Care Solutions. So Sheila's company has trained all our staff, so they have that specialized training. We get to provide them breakfast, lunch, afternoon snack, and then activities, and they get to hang out with people their own age, their own capabilities, they're similar in backgrounds and stuff like that, and then they get to go home at the end of the day and still be with their families. So their families get that break during the day. Sometimes they live with a daughter or son who works, so the daughter and son can still go to work and still earn a living. Or they live with a husband or wife that needs to go grocery shopping or needs to take a nap and just have that ability to do that, knowing that their loved one's safe at home. It's kind of different than having a aide come into the home, so they're still there during the day and stuff like that. This gets them out.
So that is what Silver Fox is all about. You're participating in this conference coming up, but every day, all the time, if people have family that have dementia issues and things, you're a place that creates a resource that's, you like the word respite, that could help them. And they could go online, Silver Fox, and find you and that.
SilverFoxSeniors.org.
How is that paid for? Is that an insurance thing or is it private pay?
Here's some good news.
Yeah.
Okay. So there is ways to have it paid for. We have contracts with Onondaga County, Oswego County, and Madison County. Their Office of Agings all assist in paying it. The Veterans Association will pay for their members to come as well. And we have contracts with Medicaid, like Nescentia and iCircle and things like that. Unfortunately, the only thing that doesn't pay for it is Medicare, but that is something that powers higher up than me in New York State are working on someday, hopefully.
Right. So it's worth looking into.
It is, and it's not uncommon for my clients to go to Silver Fox 2 days a week or 3 days a week. They have us for 2, and they go to Silver Fox for 3, so they get a nice break.
Right.
Yes, they get a break out of the house.
But they can go 5 if they want to.
Yep. So we have people go as little as 1 or as many as 5.
What's your capacity over there? How many people can you have on?
So at our Baldwinsville location, we can have up to 40 a day, and at our Manlius location, we just expanded, so now we can have up to 45 a day. We have over 5,000 square feet there, so we can have up to 45 a day there. And my staff, we run about a 5-to-1 ratio, so about 5 members per 1 staff member. So there's always somebody there keeping an eye on everything and helping them out.
So you'll be at the conference.
Yes.
And there's a whole lot. Tell us briefly, Sheila, tell us what else, who are they going to see? What else is going to happen at this conference?
So we're going to have Dr. Stephen Glatt come in and talk about dementia trials and resilience. We're going to have the local panel of people talking about resources in the area, in the greater upstate New York area. We are going to do dementia behaviors. We're going to help give people tips, tricks, and skills on how to do that. We're going to have a legal panel, and we're also going to do engagement and technology. How can that play a role in helping keep your active senior with dementia having purpose?
So people can register at SyracuseSenior.com. It's right on your website. And if you have a senior that has some dementia issues, you know how this is overdone. It's a platitude, Tom, but you need to be there.
Yeah.
If this is the space, if this is the space you're in, you're trying to go it alone. You don't have to go it alone.
And they will walk away with good skills and knowledge.
Every resource that's available to them is going to be here. So
SyracuseSenior.com or the 469-1000 number they could call.
Correct.
You still have room?
We still have room.
Okay.
We are filling up very quickly, so I wouldn't wait too long.
Yep. There we go.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Linda Johnstone from Silver Fox Adult Day Center. We appreciate you stopping by. And Sheila, as usual, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, coming up, Anthony Napa, the owner of Saving Face Barbershop, right here on The Local Show on 570 WSYR.
Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Here we go, folks. Back into it and back at it. If we're here, then you are too. It's Anthony Napa coming up here on Saving on the Saving Face.
We'd be here anyway if they weren't here, Tom.
That's true, but it sounds funny.
They might. It does sound funny. We'd be here anyway, every weekend, you know. And we got people that listen, and we appreciate that. And we got
yes, we do.
Businesses and organizations sending out their communications and letting people know who they are and what they do, and
right.
And that's okay.
Like the Safe Harbor people.
Like the Safe Harbor.
Do they have any workshops coming up?
They've got some coming in like 3 or 4 weeks. If you haven't protected your home and life saving, I mean, you could wait for a workshop, but I would give them a call, talk to one of their case managers. Every day they get people fill out a form on the website, or just call the 370-9977 number. And get questions answered. And it's sad when people don't have a plan.
Right.
Because then the New York State runs things. Anybody want New York State to run things? All in favor said? Yeah, no. So get your affairs in order. SafeHarborWillsandTrust.com, Tom.
All right. Anthony Napa is with us right now. He's the owner of Saving Face Barbershop, and I think we've said it before, and we'll say it again. There ain't no saving his face, is it, Steve's?
I knew he was going somewhere. Yeah, well, I went to Anthony, Tom. You don't know this. I had a private consultation to see if he could save my hair.
Yeah.
And
that didn't work.
No. So thanks for nothing, Anthony.
Well, thanks for having me back.
Well,
Considering that I couldn't help you.
It's true.
That's awesome. We're going to have you move up on that mic just a little bit
there
and
you go.
Talk to us. So, Anthony, what's your background? Are you from Syracuse?
I'm from Syracuse, from Cicero. Grew up in the area my whole life, though, and opened up my first barber shop in Camillus in 2009. And here we are, 4 shops. And,
wow, 4.
Yeah, 4 barber shops.
Goodness. Well, where are they all? Where
Camillus,
are the locations?
Manlius, Saratoga Springs, and Baldwinsville most recently. So.
Yeah. Do you sometimes cut in the morning over at Baldwinsville and then zip out to Saratoga Springs?
Unfortunately, fortunately not. I got a great team of folks because I couldn't do any of this without them. You know, so only one of me.
What made you want a barber?
I started cutting my own hair when I was 12 years old. My parents weren't getting my haircut as much as I'd like. I was
Did you use a mirror? Did you use a mirror?
I was using a mirror.
I just wondered,
Yep. And so just the demand, or just wanting to keep up on it myself, and turned into this.
Are you old enough to know what a Flowbee is?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, the infomercials. The infamous Flowbee.
Cut your own hair, Tom. You know.
Oh yeah, the Flowbee. I mean, that's what you did, and then look at how you turned out. It just didn't
grow out. It just fell off. So do you went to school for this then, I imagine?
So it's funny. That's a great segue into one thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about. I apprenticed as a barber, and most of my people that work for me apprentice. That's one of 2 ways you can get your barber license in New York State. So it takes 2 years. It's more of a slow-going process. The other avenue is to go to barber school. Few people that work for me have. It's 5 months long. The closest one is in Rochester. So that, being the case, my partner Taylor and I kind of saw an opportunity there, and there's been an iron in the fire for a bit, and we're finally excited to announce that we're approved for a New York State accredited barber school.
Wow,
so
that's a big deal.
That's the next move for us. We're going to start with 7 students, and it'll just be nice to get our feet wet with the curriculum.
Yeah.
Going to be right in North Syracuse, right on Main Street by Geddes Bakery and Vince's Imports.
I'm just down the road from there.
So Taylor, my partner, is going to be running the whole show. He's a fantastic educator and kind of teaching people the trade. So that's the big thing.
So do you have your 7 students lined up, or are you looking to?
So we're still recruiting people. We're not going to launch until the first of the year. We got 3 locked in already. So we want to start small. The state, a lot of red tape, as you had talked about with
You're not kidding.
plan and wills and all that. But they approved us for 7 people just based on the layout. So we have a lot of opportunity to expand.
Right.
But yeah, we're going to have 4 more openings. So anyone that wants to become a barber.
So how would they do that? Would they just do the Saving Face Barbershop? Would they connect through there?
SavingFaceBarberAcademy.com.
Oh, look at that.
That's the website for the school, or you can get some info through the normal website.
Or they can call. So maybe someone has a son or a grandson or someone that has some, my youngest is in the Air Force. When they were at boot camp, towards the end of boot camp, he was giving haircuts. He was like, why are they because he's creative, and suddenly they all like dragged him in, it's like, cut my haircut. So he's like giving haircuts, which was kind of wild. I'm like, you're doing what? But some people have a propensity to that, apparently.
That's right.
And
that's right.
And other people are like, don't touch me.
Yeah. There's so many people that's their story, and then they're like, well, this is cool. I like doing it. What's the next step? And they're like, well, I can't find a barbershop to apprentice me, and I got to go to Schenectady, or I got to go to Rochester or Buffalo to become a barber.
Right, yeah.
Why don't I just, become a plumber or something else? And that's fine. But if you want to become a barber, there's been a gap in the market. It's been kind of a dead end in Syracuse.
What's the difference between being a barber and like those other schools being a hairdresser?
So there's cosmetology. You're going to learn
what's the difference?
Hair color, perms, all the chemical things, nails. Barbering is just going to be the art of barbering. It's going to be straight razor work, classic men's haircuts, and you can apprentice other barbers. That's another big difference. And you can't call yourself a barber if you're a cosmetologist.
Oh, no
So
kidding.
there's a big distinction between the two.
I had no idea.
So I'm a barber. No, I'm not. You said I couldn't call myself one, so I just thought I would. So how's business in those 4 locations? Anything changing? It feels like nothing would ever change because people's hair
Always,
grows.
it seems like you always have people.
Trends certainly change. Like mullets are certainly back in style.
Are they?
Different.
How about nose hairs?
Nose hairs always out of style.
Do you ever perm? You can't do perms. You can't perm the nose hairs.
We could. Eyebrows, little skinny perm rods. They'd be like needles.
I mean, do you roll your eyes when you do a mullet? You're like, I got to do a mullet. Is there kind of a like, oh, really? It's doing
It's just
a mullet.
funny because you see, these things are all cyclical.
Yes,
they're going to go out in a couple years and then they'll be back again. It's almost like what's next? What's going to come back next?
Yeah, what would you do? YouTube listeners could experience it. What would you do for Tom? Tom's got the Italian, pull my hair back, probably uses a clipper, trim it down, little gray in the beard.
My uncle's a hairdresser.
What would you do? What would you do for this guy? Does he have any chance?
Tom's got a nice head of hair. I don't know.
For 59,
That's a good head of hair right there.
Right.
He's got the used car salesman look.
There we go.
And that's how I conduct my whole life, like a used car salesman. How do you keep your hair from falling out? Are there any tricks or tips that you have for aging men?
Hats will do it. Limit your wearing hats, but good quality products, not necessarily buying the cheap shampoos off the shelves of the drugstore, buying a better quality shampoo that has less sulfates and harsh chemicals.
Does Rogaine really work?
It does work, but the disclaimer with that is if you stop using it, your hair will accelerate and pick up where it should be.
Oh, no kidding.
So it's a drug, it's tough. It's all genetic.
I was going to say, how do you do it? You get different grandparents.
Yeah,
because if you look at your grandfathers, right? That's the whole thing. Let's do with the grandfather.
Yeah. They say the mother's side, but
and I'm doomed. My both sides.
Yeah.
I
crazy.
I gotta have a chance. My dad had more hair than Tom. So
well, that's wonderful. It sounds like you're doing really good, and
thank you.
We wish you the best of luck. Keep going, and there's 4 locations for you. So SavingFaceBarbershop.com. And, of course, if you want to do the Barbershop Academy, what's that address again?
SavingFaceBarberAcademy.com, and that's 427 South Main Street, North Syracuse.
Excellent. Anthony Napa right there, owner of Saving Face Barbershop. Thank you, and have a great day.
My pleasure, guys.
Okay, Josh Lang is coming up next. He's the pastor at Redeemer Church in Syracuse. He'll be on the local show on 570 WSYR.
Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Thanks for joining us. We're assuming you came back, even after hearing Steve speak. So we appreciate your patronage.
That's why it should just be
to
you,
the
Tom.
show. It
I
should
like
just
that.
be you.
It's the Local Show with Tom. And you can interview the guests, and I can go do real work.
Nobody wants to hear an old has-been on the radio.
Yes. Yeah.
or never was been, either way. We're broadcasting from the Zoey Advertising Studio, sponsored by Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. And we're also on YouTube if you want to see what a has-been looks like.
Yes, you can see what the has-beens. We stopped eating, so I don't know that they're going to be showing the food that we ate.
No lunch.
So,
right. So let's cleanse our souls and get ready for a spiritual ride with Josh Lang right now. He's the pastor of Redeemer Church here in Syracuse. How are you, Josh?
I'm doing well, Tom. How are
you didn't know you had that much power, did you?
Just to help you guys out this morning, I'll do what I can do.
I give you a lot of credence.
Yes, we could use it because, I don't know, the world's kind of been a Debbie Downer the last week or two, huh?
Absolutely.
A lot going on.
Yeah. You know, it's been so long that they have been fighting over there in Israel, isn't it? You know, and the persecution and the all that. It makes you wonder. And once again, I get a lot of wisdom from my 16-year-old, or at least a lot of questions. And you know, when they say things like, you know, well, if there's a God, why is everybody always fighting over God? You know, it's almost like he would like to take himself out of the equation so that all these people did. I mean, not only do you have the whole thing with Israel, but, you know, there was a thing called the Crusades as well. And, you know, it's always fighting about God and religion. How can it be good?
Thanks for coming, Josh.
Yeah, right.
We appreciate
What have you done, Josh?
I just love when you guys have me on and I've got a clock counting down. You ask me huge questions that have been debated for centuries.
Give us the Cliff Notes.
You know, the Cliff Notes, would be this. You know, from the beginning, and I'm going to go all the way back to creation, the beginning of creation here.
Gotcha.
And
it was the woman's fault.
No.
Sorry, I'd go with that.
The problem we see is that you have this thing where we tend to distrust whether or not God is good.
Yeah.
We tend to say that we know better than God, or we tend to say things like, well, I could fill that role.
Right.
And part of the problem that we see in the midst of horrible geopolitical conflict that has kind of erupted over the weekend is that you have folks trying to fill one of those roles, and in humanity, we're just not capable of filling that role of God. And so for Christianity, what we would say is that there needs to be a surrender to who God is as he's revealed himself in Scripture, and to trust that what he says is good, what he says is right. And one day, we do know this as Christians, is that when Christ returns, there will be no more death. There will be no more sadness. There will be no more sickness, disease, tears. And so there is a day where the Christian hope is that all things will be made right.
Right. But until that, you have people with differing views and who believe that maybe their God is the right God. And, you know, of course, Jewish people don't believe that Jesus is the Son of God and all that. So in the midst of all this, nobody wants to cut anybody else a break, so to speak, right? And therefore they war over it. And it saddens a lot of people. And I think it maybe might prevent people from believing in God, coming to faith.
That definitely can be a reality, you know, that people face. But again, you know, I can only speak as a Christian.
Right, sure.
And what I would say to that is that when I look at Scripture, And when we trust that what Scripture tells us is God speaking, God breathing those words into life, God speaking, God has showed us that he is the creator and the sustainer of the world. God has showed us that he created us. He said it was good. Sin messed that up. Sin's doing what we want in a simple way instead of what God wants.
Right.
And so the interesting thing that happens in Christianity is this, is you look at those first 4 chapters of Genesis, we see creation, we see a fall from that creation, and we see punishment. The Adam and Eve are exiled from the garden. But what's interesting about that is God just doesn't send them out and says, you can't come back. God goes with them. Okay. God is with them in that exile. God is working out a plan to bring all things together for his good, for our good in his glory. And God has not abandoned us in the middle of that. And you see that not only in those first 4 chapters of Genesis, but you see it in the Gospels as we read about the life of
I see
Jesus.
that if there's someone that I maybe has done me wrong, Tom, or I feel like they've done me wrong, and God says I need to forgive them. Okay, even if they're not like trying to be nice, and if not, it eats me up personally if I have a vendetta. But what I have to ultimately believe is that God is the judge. What I have to ultimately believe is it's in God's control, and I may not understand it. I mean, I've got. I got stories of it. I may not grasp it,
right?
But if God is sovereign, if God is got it coming and going back and forward, I got to go. Okay,
but what a comfort in the midst of it to know that we have a God who has not abandoned us,
right,
to our own folly, but he said, "I'm going to come." And so in the Gospels we see what is a father sends his son to do for us what we cannot do for ourselves. And Christ pays the punishment that our sins deserve. And because he rose again, God accepted that. And now we know this is that God, the same God who identified with us in the suffering of humanity, is also God who's going to make things brand new.
What would you say to someone who says, well, I got to work that off because if I love God, there's a celestial scale of good works, bad works, good guy, bad guy. And somehow we're going to, and then they feel like they're rolling the dice to see if they're accepted by God or not.
Well, you'll be working that off a long time because how good is good enough? And so what God did is he sent his one and only son who would be the ultimate gift and satisfaction for the wrath that our sin deserves. And we put our faith and hope in him, and we know that's enough. Jesus plus nothing equals everything.
So if people go to Redeemer Church, they'll learn this and more?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we do our best to preach what we see in Scripture.
Well, they'll make some friends.
Yeah.
I don't know. You can go online and Google anything and watch the gospel and hear the gospel. But the reason that Judy and I and our family are part of it is community.
Yeah.
And not every day's a great day. Let's be honest.
Right.
Not every day's a great day.
And maybe people who are troubled by events like this, and certainly we've seen this throughout history, might feel some comfort in a family of people with faith, right?
Absolutely.
That's good. So Redeemer Church right across from what, Josh?
Nottingham High School.
Right across from Nottingham High School. Come as you are. And it's 10 o'clock on Sunday. 10 o'clock on Sunday.
He likes to push the come as you are because he never dresses.
I don't. I'm overdressed. I got a hoodie and jeans on. Have you ever seen me overdressed?
I don't know if I've ever seen you wear a tie or a suit or anything like that.
What's a tie?
All right, Pastor Josh, thank you so much for being here, okay?
Thanks for having me.
All right. On behalf of the local show, Steve, and, you and I, God bless you and your families. Take a walk today and every day with your friends and family members because that keeps the weight down and the mind clear. The local show is heard every Saturday morning from 11 to 1 and then again on Sunday morning from 7 to 9. Listen together with a friend because it's more fun that way. Until next week, get down to business and keep doing business locally. Tell your friends about the local show right here on 570 WSYR 106.9 FM, the iHeartRadio app, and on YouTube at Zoey Advertising 3809.